Welcome to Reduce Your Stress with Tim Ringgold. I'm a board-certified music therapist, author, and expert on how to use music to relieve stress fast. This episode of Reduce Your Stress with Tim Ringgold is sponsored by Dr. Nisi, trainer and certifier of master and executive coaches, because she believes every person, every relationship, every business, and your finances should be extraordinary. Find out more about Dr. Nisi Moore and the Life Coaching Institute at www. Hello and welcome to another episode of Reduce Your Stress with Tim Ringgold. It's so great to be with you, and I'm so glad you're here. So I told you in episode 76 about my ketamine treatment for depression that I'm currently undergoing. Well, I've completed 3 of 6 sessions so far. And one thing seems to happen is that a theme or a message comes out of each session. This past session, the theme was affection. Now, for those of you who don't know, my wife and I were married in 2003. Dated for several years before that, and we're now at that point in life where, we've got school-age kids, and it just seems like we run from day to day to keep up with them, with the house, with our 2 businesses. And I've come down with a case of affection atrophy. That's when you're so busy doing all the things, you forget to keep some of that original spark or flame alive in your marriage. I was scheduled to go into the studio to record immediately after the ketamine session, so the topic of affection was top of mind. For me, the term tenderness is also related to affection, so I sat down with my classical guitar and I thought, well, what would tenderness or affection sound like as a lullaby? So here's what came out of my fingers. As I've described before, there's the song and then there's the sound of the song. And sometimes I get the sound right on the money in terms of the mixing, and then sometimes I'm not quite there with my mixing skills. But that's the beauty of music. There is no finish line, just an endless opportunity to try to catch lightning in a bottle. So sit back, relax, think of someone you love, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks so much for checking out this episode of Reduce Your Stress with Tim Ringgold. I've got a couple of resources for you, which you can find in the show notes or you can listen to right here. So check it out. If you enjoy the sound of my voice and you enjoy the sound of my guitar, imagine them put together. Go to sonicrecovery.com and take your very own relaxation vacation, where I take you out of the stress of the present moment and back in time to a time when you felt happy, healthy, safe, and sober, and then walk you through that memory so you can bring back those feelings into the challenges you're facing today. So go check that out. It's at sonicrecovery.com. If you're a healthcare worker in recovery, check out the Music in Recovery Self-Care Guide for healthcare professionals that I created just for you. That's at hcp.sonicrecovery.com. And if you're a healthcare worker and you'd like more information about how to help your patients use music, you can check out the Music Medicine Guide that I created just for you at musicmedicineguide.com. Lastly, if you enjoyed the pod and you haven't done it yet, would you just take a minute to rate and review it? It really only takes about 60 seconds, believe it or not, and it would go a long way to help us make more people know just how good this pod is, particularly for healthcare workers and their stress. Thanks again. See you next time.